SEC Volleyball Tournament. Welcome back to Savanah, Georgia in Enmarket Arena. I'm Gehrig Gesch once again, joined by Caleb Robertson and Carson Meier, and our studio man this week, Aaron Simons. Caleb, it's going to be really hard to beat what we saw yesterday.
It is going to be very, very tough. But if the Tigers can pull one out today, that might top what we saw yesterday.
All right, Caleb, give me some of the storylines headed into this one.
Yeah, so the number one storyline has to be Lauren Drees' status. She had an injury yesterday, was barely able to put any weight on her feet right there yesterday, and the Tigers they had to change their philosophy, had to go from a 6-2 to a 5-1. What are they going to do today if she's back and playing? How much is she going to be able to play? And also, can the Tigers keep that magic going? They had so much mojo in those last three sets. It was almost like they were in a flow state. Everybody was playing off each other. Are they going to be able to keep that going against the number one seeded Kentucky Wildcats?
On both sides of the net, who are your standout players to watch in this one?
Yeah, so for Auburn, it's got to be Belle Zimmerman and Liz Markowska. You mentioned them in your open. Belle Zimmerman had 20 kills, so did Liz Markowska, the two seniors. They would not be denied yesterday. They are going to be my X factors for the orange and blue. And on the flip side, for the numbers one seeded Kentucky Wildcats, Brooklyn DeLay, 2024 SEC Player of the Year, and Eva Hudson, 2025 SEC Player of the Year, both finalists for ABCA Player of the Year. They're going to be tough to stop. The Tigers are going to have their hands full with them, but I think the Tigers can get it done, but it's going to be tough.
All right, Caleb, and lastly, what is at stake? We know it's a trip to the semifinals, but what else could the Tigers benefit from a win here?
Well, yes, it is a trip to the semifinals, but also with all that magic you had yesterday, it could spark a Cinderella run. The Tigers are the 8th seed, and it's their first win in this SEC tournament in over 25 years. So it could spark a big run and possibly get them into the NCAA tournament. And with that being said, it could give them a huge, huge resume boost. They haven't recorded a top 25 win this season, but a top 5 win would really bump them up in the RPI. And also, it also all but locks up an NCAA tournament bid. And so it's going to be a good one today, and I'm excited.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Excellent analysis. Now we'll send it over to our guy on the sidelines, Mr. Carson Meier. What kind of report do you have for us?
Yeah, well, it's going to be on Lauren Drees. Caleb, you touched on her availability and how good she looked in warm-ups in your open there, and I do believe she will go today. She looked really good in warm-ups. She was jumping with the team, looked really good, getting up there, providing some extra options for Coach Crouch, and perhaps allowing Auburn to go back to their 6-2. We saw the 5-1 after she went out yesterday in the 4th and 5th sets, so it should be interesting to watch, guys.
All right, thanks, Carson. We'll step aside here on WEGL 91.1 FM, and when we get back, we'll have starting lineups and first serve from the quarterfinals in Savanah, Georgia. for quarterfinal action. In Savannah, Georgia, in the SEC Volleyball Tournament, it's the 8-seed Auburn Tigers. They advanced out of round 2 yesterday to take on the Kentucky Wildcats, who have yet to play. They are on the double bye and the #1 overall seed in the SEC Tournament. We have another pregame report from our man Carson Meier. Carson, what did you see?
Yeah, well, pregame down here is the same thing as everybody else. A trophy presentation before Kentucky's first SEC tournament game. Obviously, the regular season SEC champions, a well-deserved victory. I don't know about that one pregame, though, guys. Seems a little bit premature starting the SEC tournament.
Yeah, if I'm the Auburn Tigers watching it on their sideline, that fires me up. Like my broadcast partner Gehrig Gesch said, to start it off, that has us upset written all over it. And if I'm Coach Crouch, I'm showing that to my team. I'm like, listen, they feel like they've already won. They're coming in here with their hopes high. Let's go in here and shock the world.
Shock the world. That's what the Auburn Tigers are trying to do. The last time they took down the Kentucky Wildcats was last year in reverse sweep fashion. It was a reverse sweep last night. The reverse sweep, that's just a good thing for the Auburn Tigers. As now the teams will exchange handshakes and make their way to their respective sides. The Auburn Tigers wearing all navy, navy bottoms, navy tops. The libero, Alexis DaCosta, in the white top, as well as Sydney Hondel wearing the libero kit for the Tigers. They're attacking right to left. On the left side, attacking left to right, is the Kentucky Wildcats wearing black bottoms, white tops. Libero Molly Tuzzo in black bottoms and a blue top. Teams in their huddles getting ready for a big one. Kentucky 22-2, 15-0 in the SEC, and they've won 9 straight SEC championships. Head coach Craig Sinner in his 21st season at UK. He was the 2020 national champion and is their program's winningest coach with 490 wins, 20 NCAA tournament appearances in his 21 seasons at UK. A force to be reckoned with, as we'll set the lineups for UK. It's Eva Hudson, Lizzie Carr, Asia Thigpen, Kennedy Washington, Brooklyn DeLay, and Molly Tuzzo. For the Tigers, it's Grace Havlicek, Belle Zimmerman, Chanel Pitts, number 15, Alexis DaCosta, number 2, Lauren Dreves, and number 25, Liz Markovska. So it looks like the Tigers, as of right now, coming out in the 6-2 system. And we're about ready to play some volleyball, guys.
Yeah, we're ready. I was nervous going into the Oklahoma game. I'm pretty nervous going into this one as well, but it's going to be a good game. This is definitely the biggest game of the Tigers' season so far. It's one that they can really make some noise with.
All right, it's a front row of Thigpen, DeLay, and Washington for the Wildcats. A back row of Bultema, DeLay, Hudson, and Tuzzo to serve. It'll be Tuzzo to start us off. Molly Tuzzo, the junior from the Woodlands, Texas. The 5-7 libero, played in all 24 matches this year, has 328 digs and a 26-38 service ace to error ratio. Looks like we're waiting on the TV report right in front of us, and then we will get going. To our right, the Florida Gators look on.
I got my sideline report done early, guys.
That's right. That's right.
Carson Meier on top of things here.
They don't hold the game for Carson, unfortunately.
Florida Gators wait on the right. The winner of this will face the winner of Florida, Tennessee in the semifinals tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern. That'll be 5 o'clock Central. We'll talk about that more when we get there, fellas. That's a bridge to cross when this one is over. Coach Crouch wearing the white pullover, joined by Coach Corbelli, Coach Sunder, and Coach Burton on the sidelines. And we are ready to go. First point from the quarterfinals. It's Molly Tuzzo to serve. Short run-up, serve up and over, received by DaCosta. Pass goes to Pitts. Pitts will set Dreves. Dreves tips over up by O'Brien. Now the swing goes to DeLay, and it's a good dig from Markovska, free back over to Kentucky. Where does O'Brien go with it this time? It's the middle to Washington, up by Auburn. Swing will go to Dreves once more, up by Tuzzo. A good defensive battle here. DeLay will get another swing, and that one's up by DaCosta. Pitts, long bump set. Dreves will swing for the third time, and this one is going to force a bump set from O'Brien. DeLay will swing again, tipped over, diving dig, Alexis DaCosta. Pitts to Dreves, off the block, and down. It's a block for Asia Thigpen to start us off. What a rally.
Unbelievable rally to get us going here in this quarterfinal matchup. Both teams have bodies flying all over the court, but a great block right there by Thigpen. She had 27 on the season coming into this tournament, and she gets another one to start us off.
1-0 Wildcats lead. Tuzzo will serve once more. Targets DaCosta. It's a good pass to Pitts. Pitts goes backside, right side to Zimmerman, and it's up by Washington. Swing will beat a Thigpen, up by Zimmerman. DaCosta, bump set, will set up Dreves. Dreves goes off hands, and it's freed over by Eva Hudson. DaCosta, Pitts, right side again to Zimmerman. Flying dig from Tuzzo. O'Brien sets backside. Thigpen will be freed over. Zimmerman, Pitts, back row Markovska, floats up by Tuzzo. O'Brien's now going to set the middle, and Kennedy Washington gets it off the hands of Alexis DaCosta. 2 long rallies to start this one.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Kentucky. I couldn't tell who it was, but it looked like Cassie O'Brien keeping that one alive. It looked like a sure kill for Lauren Dreves. The Tigers are trying to get her involved early and often, but the Kentucky Wildcats are able to keep that one going and eventually wear down the Tigers' defense.
2-0 Kentucky. Tigers played in a 5-setter, so you question the endurance coming into this one as Tuzzo serves. This time the target's Markovska, and it's going to be an ace. 3-0 Kentucky.
Yeah, just a shank right there. A good serve by Tuzzo targeting Markovska. She's got 26 aces on the season. But just a bad pass right there by Liz, and it goes into the first row.
So a 3-0 run for Kentucky, a 4th service from Molly Tuzzo. This time it's a better pass from Markovska. The set will go in system to Dreves, and Dreves puts it down. They missed her yesterday, and here she is already making an impact.
Yeah, like I said, they are trying to get her involved. It seems like almost every set is going up to number 2. And she finally gets one right there. It's now 3-1 Kentucky.
So now Sydney Hondo will serve for the Tigers. Up and over, received. And it's a free ball. Overpass killed by Kate Mansfield. Tigers back within 1.
A great serve right there by Hondo. She gets it right in the middle of this Kentucky defense. And Eva Hudson has to lay out for it, and it's a bad pass right to Mansfield, and she gets it done.
Sydney Hondo can tie it for the Tigers. It's 3-2 Wildcats. Serve up and over, and it is going to be an error, so it'll be 4-2 Kentucky. Just missed trying to go down line.
Yeah, not a bad idea right there by Hondo. Just a bit of a miss hit it off the side of her hand a little bit. Goes just out.
So now Molly Brezowitz will sub in, the junior from Burlington, Wisconsin. She got 14 aces, 16 errors. Up and out, so that'll add to the error total. It's number 17 now. And back-to-back service errors has this one at 4-3. As Kaylee Edson and Eden Bauer will sub in. There's your answer. Tigers still in the 6-2. Eden Bauer wearing number 24 in this one. Usually wears number 8. We saw her wear 24 one other time this year. That was at LSU. Not sure the reason, Caleb. Not sure that we'll ever find out.
I think she's trying to be like Kobe Bryant, going from 8 to 24.
Serve over by Edson, received by Tuzzo. It's going to force a long bump set to Delay. Delay sent back. Kate Mansfield and Eden Bauer combined for the big stuff.
That was a thunderous rejection by Mansfield and Bauer. They got up and just absolutely denied the Kentucky attack right there. My goodness.
So now the service goes back to Kaylee Edson. Tigers have it 4-4. Delay receives. Bump set from Brezowitz. Delay will get another swing. Up and down. Going to go back to Kentucky. Delay swings again. This time freed over to Auburn. Dreves. Edson. Back row. Markovska pushed. One-handed dig by O'Brien. Bump set from Tuzzo. Swing will go to Delay again. Off a ton of hands and down. That one floated in the air for a while. Markovska couldn't reach it.
Yeah, just out of the reach of a diving Liz Markovska. The Tigers have had a few where they've had some diving bodies early on, but that time they weren't able to get it done.
Now service is Brooklyn Delay. Serve is up. Dreves the target. It's a good pass to Edson. Edson goes middle to Mansfield, who tips down. Now up by Kentucky. Bump set from Tuzzo. Hudson swings up by Edson. Swing will go to Dreves this time, and this one's up by Kentucky. O'Brien goes back to Hudson. Hudson swings in over Edson.
Yeah, there's your 2025 SEC Player of the Year, former All-Big Ten, 2,000 career kills. I mean, I could go on, and she shows it right there.
Eva Hudson, the Purdue transfer, like we mentioned, one of 2 AVCA semifinalists on the same team. Serve received by Mansfield. Edson goes to Dreves, and Dreves just kind of misses, hits the top of the net, and back on Auburn's side. So it's a good run now from Kentucky.
Yeah, guys, after that last point there, it did look like Lauren Dreves came up limping just a little bit. Something to watch, that ankle that she hurt yesterday.
Thank you, Carson, as Brooklyn Delay will serve once more. It's a float this time, and it's an ace. No communication from the Tigers, no one there to get it. And Brooklyn Delay, who came in with a 17-51 ace-to-error ratio, now has an ace in this one, is going to be serving for the 3rd straight time after Auburn had tied it at 4. It's now 8-4 Kentucky. Serve up, received by Dreves. Edson goes back over to Markovska. Markovska swings out. No touch. 9-4. Kentucky now on a big 5-0 run. And Coach Crouch calls timeout. We'll step aside as well. We'll be back in 1 minute on WEGL 91.1 FM. Brooklyn delay. Caleb, what have you seen over these last 5 points?
Yeah, just a little bit of poor communication from the Tigers. They let one fall right in between them for an ace, and they haven't really had their passes on. Kentucky's been flying around on the defensive side, and they really made it tough for the Tigers to get points, and that has sparked this 5-0 scoring run from the Wildcats.
Tigers now hitting negative 0.67, and the Kentucky Wildcats hitting 154. And that's been the story of things here. Tigers have not played poor in system. It's just the errors that have kind of hurt them. The errors, they have 3 attacking errors, a service error, but they also have a couple just mental errors, like that last ball that fell in the middle of the floor from Brooklyn delay. All right, back ready to go in set number 1. Wildcats lead 9-4. Serve up and over from delay. This one received by Dreves. Edson's going to go to Mansfield in the middle, and she swings in. Kate Mansfield gets the kill.
It's a great job out of the timeout, getting some of that momentum, breaking that scoring run. Something the Tigers weren't able to do early on yesterday, and led to them getting in that 2-set hole. But today, they get it done out of the first timeout.
Now Lauren Dreves serves for Auburn. A couple errors yesterday. There won't be an error this time. O'Brien goes backside Washington up by DaCosta. Edson's going to set back row Dreves, and it's a good dig by delay. O'Brien now over to Hudson, who tips over. Markovska's there to get it up. Edson bump set to Bauer. Bauer swings up by delay. O'Brien, back row delay, down in front of DaCosta. That is such a special shot from a special player in Brooklyn delay.
Absolutely. They faked like they were going up to Kennedy Washington, got the Tigers a bit out of position. And when you're out of position against Brooklyn delay, that spells disaster.
So now Ava Sarafa, the redshirt sophomore from Bloomfield, Michigan, will serve. Up and into the net, service error. Already Kentucky's second. So 3 total service errors in this one. 2 of Auburn's 6 points have been off the air.
Yeah, points come in all shapes and sizes. The Tigers will take it.
Now Kate Mansfield will serve. She's got 10 aces, 3 errors on the season. And there's another error, so add to her total. And it'll make that 11-6 Kentucky. Serving from the far left side is Cassie O'Brien, just a freshman, has already been an incredible setter for Kentucky this year. Received by Markovska. The swing will go to Markovska, pushed over to O'Brien. And she's going to set, and she's going to swing on Asia Thigpen. And that was a tight angle cross net and gets it to fall. So the Wildcats doubling up the Tigers here early on.
Yeah, that may have been something that the Wildcats saw yesterday when they were scouting the Auburn Tigers. They saw Alexis Shelton go cross court a lot yesterday. That really, really burned the Tigers, especially early on. And that's what they do here to get a big point.
O'Brien will serve again. This one's a float. Havlicek receives. Edson goes to Bauer. Bauer sent back. Havlicek there to save it. Now the swing will go to Liz Markovska, and she hits the pin. So it'll be an attack error, 13-6. Wildcats lead. Tigers in need of a side out.
They're in need of one big time. Got to break this run, get the serve back, and get some momentum going.
Kentucky has number 15, Lizzie Carr, 6'6", the middle blocker. She has 102 blocks on the season, so a big net presence now for the Wildcats as O'Brien gets ready to serve again. This one's a float, again received by Havlicek. It's a good pass to Edson, who goes to Markovska. Markovska gets the swing down on the tip, and the Tigers do get that side out, and they'll bring in Belle Zimmerman and Chanel Pitts.
Yeah, in comes Belle Zimmerman. She was the catalyst, the straw that stirred the drink yesterday. Really got us going, and she could be really, really big for us.
The straw that stirs the drink. I've never heard that. That's a good one. And it will be Chanel Pitts now to serve for Auburn. Up and over, received by DeLay. It's a good pass. O'Brien goes backside Hudson, and DaCosta sends a dig effort flying over our heads, and it's a kill for Eva Hudson, her second.
Yeah, that was save the women and children over here. That was ducking for cover.
Serve from Hudson, received by Markovska. Pitts goes middle to Havlicek, and Havlicek gets this awkward swing to fall.
That's something that the Tigers, I feel like, need to go to more often. It really, really works. Whenever there's nothing going on the outside, they can go to Havlicek. They can go to Mansfield in the middle. It's very effective. Yesterday, it was very effective. There was 10 kills combined from their middle blockers. So it's something that you need to keep an eye on today.
Liz Markovska, good serve, received by DeLay. Swing is going to go in the middle to Carr, and the swing is long, so the Tigers are able to stack 2 points now together. Caleb, like you mentioned with the middle swings, now 4 for the middles, 23 total. So we know Auburn loves to go to the outsides. The middles have been efficient, hitting 667 and 100. As now the serve goes to O'Brien, and this time Carr makes no mistake in the middle, putting it down.
Yeah, Carr didn't get a lot of it, but she got just enough of it. Off a few Auburn hands, and it hits right on the 10-foot line in front of a diving Chanel Pitts.
Service will go back to Molly Tuzzo as the Cats have rotated through. Serve is up at the top of the tape, received by Zimmerman. Pitts is going to go to Dreves. There goes Lauren Dreves, no stopping that.
No stopping it at all. That was in system, in rhythm, and Lauren Dreves got up to almost touch the Jumbotron on that one. Great downward swinging action. No chance for the Wildcat defense.
Now Sydney Hondel will be tasked to serve. Kate Mansfield rotates in as well for the Tigers. Serve up and over. Receiving is Thigpen. Swing's going to go to DeLay. DeLay sent back up by Hudson. O'Brien, middle swing, and just kind of rolls over the net awkwardly, but it falls. Nothing the Tigers can do there.
Yeah, it's the second straight time for Kentucky that they've gotten 2 of their straight points off of kind of awkward swings, kind of unlucky for the Auburn Tigers. It just kind of falls out in front of Belle Zimmerman.
Service is number 11, Molly Brezowitz. Up and over, received by Markovska. Pitts is going to go middle to Mansfield. It's an awkward set, and it's up by O'Brien. Tuzzo overhand set to DeLay. DeLay, what a sharp angle. Goes cross net right over our heads and gets the kill to put the Wildcats up 17-10. Coach Crouch wants timeout. The Tigers in danger of dropping set number 1. We'll step aside as well. You're listening to WEGL 91.1 in conjunction with the Auburn Sports Network. Tigers trail 17-10 in set 1 at Enmarket Arena to the number 1 seed Kentucky Wildcats. Someone on the Auburn Tigers is celebrating a special day. Caleb Robertson mind telling us a little more.
Yeah, it's going to be Chanel Pitts. She has a happy birthday and a game day birthday, but she's coming off the day before her birthday, all coming off a 33-assist performance. That is her season high and Auburn high. Just an unbelievable performance. She had a great over on 2 as well, very clutch. And down the stretch, the Tigers playing in that 5-1, they needed her down the stretch, and it was great to see her get that, and a happy birthday to Chanel.
Chanel already has 3 assists and a dig in this one, has assisted half of these Tigers' kills. All right, so the serve will be Brezowitz once more. Up and over, it's a diving reception by Markovska, and it'll be freed over by Dreves. O'Brien, back row to Hudson, and off the block, solo of Kate Mansfield.
Yeah, that one was tough. Bit of a scramble drill right there for Auburn. Chanel Pitts going diving under the net, scrambling back and leaving Kate Mansfield out to dry. She couldn't get the block. No one there to get the tip.
Brezowitz will go again. Serve up and over, received by Markovska in the middle. Pitts goes right side to Zimmerman, up by Hudson. It's a nice dig. Now O'Brien will set up delay. A one-hand save from Dreves. Now Markovska will swing in the back row off the tape and up by Brezowitz. O'Brien now goes backside on the slide to Washington, and it is put down. That's something the Tigers didn't face yesterday, the slide attack. They'll have to get a good look at it in this one as Kennedy Washington runs it really well.
Yeah, Washington coming in with 67 kills on the year and 1.4 kills per set. And she gets a big one right there.
Serve up and over, this time received by Dreves. It's tight to the net, and it's a free dump. Auburn will have to go now over with DaCosta. Tuzzo, O'Brien goes over on 2. DaCosta's there. Now Pitts will go to Dreves. Dreves with a couple hands and up by Hudson. O'Brien backside. There's the slide again, sent back by Dreves, up by Tuzzo. Now the set will go to Delay. Delay swings and hits the pin, so the Tigers look at the point.
Yeah, big point right there. Tigers needed it. They were down 9, now only down 8. It's getting late early in this first set, but if you can string something together here, you may be able to get back in it and have a chance.
Now Eden Bauer and Kaylee Edson come in for the Tigers. Serve from Edson into the net, so that's an error, and the Kentucky Wildcats are the first in the red zone here. They lead 20-11 in set number 1.
Yeah, you don't want to see too many of those against a team like this. You want to minimize mistakes if you can, especially when you get the ball back on the serve.
Delay serves up by Dreves. A one-hand set goes back to Lauren Dreves, who tips and dumped by Kentucky. Back up, bump set, Markovska goes to Dreves, and Brezowitz digs. O'Brien, back row, Delay, off the hands of DaCosta and down. Brooklyn Delay now with 4 kills.
Yeah, 4 kills, leads all hitters and leads all Wildcats, hitting just a $143, but she's got 14 swings already in this one.
So gets the kill, will serve, it's a float. This one received by Mansfield, good pass to Edson, who goes back row, Markovska who puts it down. Liz Markovska grabs the kill.
Yeah, back row Markovska, that sounds a little familiar. We saw it win the game for the Tigers yesterday in the 5th set. Breaks a scoring drought there.
Service will be to Dreves. Serve receive, it's a good pass to O'Brien. O'Brien goes back to Washington. Washington blocked up by Delay. Now Hudson will swing, and a roll shot goes down. What a swing from Eva Hudson, a smart player in the Purdue transfer. And that's why she's one of the ABCA Player of the Year semifinalists.
Yeah, she's a very, very heady player, and she knew exactly what she needed to do there. Knew she probably couldn't break that block. It was a triple block attempt. Just kind of dumped it right in the middle of the Auburn defense.
Wildcats up 10. It's 22-12 as Sarafa will service another float received by DaCosta. Edson over to Markovska. Markovska has her shot dug out by Delay. Now Hudson will swing. It's a tight angle. DaCosta's there. Shaded to step up. Dreves in the back row. Pushes off Sarafa, but there's no touch, and it's out. So 23-12. Wildcats are 2 points away from taking set number 1 in dominant fashion. Serve will be Sarafa again, this time shaded to her left, up by DaCosta. Edson goes over to Markovska. Her swing, tooled off the block, and terminated. Liz Markovska keeps the Tigers in it for a little bit longer, 23-13.
Yeah, Markovska now with 3 kills on the game. She's got 3 of the 8 for the Tigers. She's going to be a big part in this game.
23-13 Wildcats. Kate Mansfield will serve for the Tigers. Up by Hudson. O'Brien, back row to Delay. Brooklyn delay. How about that power?
Whew. I had some RPMs on it, man. No chance for Mansfield. Just ate her up.
And now it's set point for the blue and black, and it'll be Cassie O'Brien, the freshman, to try and end it. Dreves will receive the serve. Edson goes over to Markovska. Markovska keeps it alive a little bit longer.
Markovska putting together a pretty nice first set for herself. Her 4th kill of the game so far. Keeps the Tigers in it just a little bit longer.
24-14. Wildcats lead. Chanel Pitts will have to serve. Tigers will have to get 10 in a row to stay in this set. Serve is up and over. Received by Hudson. Now the swing will go to Carr, and it's blocked by Belle Zimmerman.
Zimmerman known for her offensive prowess, but they're showing the defensive skills as well. 86 blocks on the season, averaging just under a block a set.
Still set point with Chanel Pitts serving. Up and over, received by Hudson. O'Brien's going to go to the middle, and Carr gets redemption and wins the set for Kentucky. Lizzie Carr ends it 25-15, your final in set 1. Caleb, what did you see there other than Kentucky dominating?
Yeah, it was a lot of Kentucky doing what they do best, getting the ball to their playmakers, but also Auburn kind of beat themselves a little bit. A lot of errors, 3 aces or 2 aces for the Kentucky Wildcats and 3 service errors for the Tigers. It was it was not a great showing defensively for the Tigers. They were letting Delay get the ball wherever she wanted and letting her do whatever she wanted on the attack, and that's something that's not going to be a recipe for success for the Auburn Tigers.
Thank you, Caleb. We'll step aside and we'll have set 2 action. When we return, you're listening to the Auburn Sports Network.
You're off.
Back here in Enmarket Arena, 25-15 was your score in set number 1 to the Kentucky Wildcats, the 1 seed. And Carson and Caleb looked every bit of it.
Yeah, they looked like the number 1 seed. They looked like a team that can compete for a national championship, and they they leaned on their SEC Player of the Years. They had Brooklyn DeLay, the 2024 SEC Player of the Year, and Eva Hudson, the 2025 SEC Player of the Year, both of them with 5 and 4 kills respectively. And as a team, they're hitting 297. That's just an unbelievable number. The Tigers, if they want any chance in this one, they have to bring that number down, and they got to get their hitting percentage up, only hitting $111.
All right, Liz Markovska will get us going in set number 2. Tigers now going left to right, up and over, received by Tuzzo. The set from O'Brien goes right side to Thigpen. It's a good dig from Markovska, freed over to Kentucky. Set will go to Thigpen again. Thigpen blocked by Dreves.
It's a great block by Dreves, solo block, her first of the game. She hasn't been doing great offensively so far, only hitting negative 67, but getting it done defensively when the Tigers need it.
Serve from Markovska. Delay watches it go over her shoulder, now to play, so it's 1-1 off the service error.
It's now the 4th service error of the match so far for the Tigers. Something that Coach Crouch and company are going to want to get cleaned up.
Molly Tuzzo will serve. The junior, her serve is up and over. Received by Markovska. Pitts goes right side to Zimmerman. Zimmerman up, and Zimmerman down off a couple hands. Tigers up 2-1.
That's what you want to see if you're an orange and blue fan. Belle Zimmerman had a monster game, possibly her best game in an Auburn jersey yesterday, and she gets a big kill, her first of the game.
Now service will be to Sydney Hondel. Over received by Thigpen. He's going to force a bump set from Tuzzo. It's over, and it's a free ball to the Tigers. Pitts, back row, Markovska. One-handed dig from O'Brien. Man, that was impressive. DeLay will get a swing out of it. It's freed over. Oh, that's cheeky. The two-hand free finds a gap.
That is so smart right there by DeLay. Unbelievable. Just poking it right where Auburn wasn't. That's the name of the game, right? I mean, just unbelievable.
So it's 2-2. Service now to Brezowitz. Up over, received by Markovska, and it's over by Kentucky. Bit of an awkward termination there effort. And now this will go to Dreves, and it's straight down. Lauren Dreves gets a monster kill after Kentucky had a chance to terminate an overpass.
Yeah, kind of a weird start to that set. Again, Auburn's serve receive gets freed over. Kennedy Washington almost gets a double touch there, but the ball doesn't lie. Lauren Dreves gets her 3rd kill of the game.
Tigers up 3-2. Belle Zimmerman to serve, up by Tuzzo. O'Brien's going to go to delay in system off a couple hands, and Kentucky will get the point.
Yeah, I believe that one was off the hands of Chanel Pitts going up for the block from the set position. It's tough when you're going up against a former player of the year and a first-team All-SEC.
3-3, delay will serve now for the Wildcats. Serve up, over, received by Dreves. It's a good pass to Pitts. Pitts sets a middle swing to Mansfield, up by Hudson. O'Brien will set back row, delay, tips it over, and DaCosta's diving dig attempt is not good enough. Brooklyn DeLay gets a kill.
Beginning to sound like a broken record, but Brooklyn DeLay with another kill, her 8th of the game so far in just over a set played.
So she'll serve this time a float received by Markovska. Pitts goes right side to Zimmerman out the back row. She swings in. A delayed call there from the line judge, but it's in nonetheless. And Belle Zimmerman gets a kill.
Yeah, great equalizer there in that first set. Auburn kind of let things snowball. That's going to be something to watch in the second set if they can stop the bleeding when Kentucky gets on a run.
Dreves will serve up and over, received by DeLay. Set goes to Hudson. Hudson swings off the arms of DaCosta and terminates.
It's a couple times now that DaCosta's been just a bit late on these high-velocity kills from DeLay. Just very tough. That one was by Hudson, but still.
Service now will be Sarafa. Off the top of the tape, DaCosta's there. Pitts goes this time middle to Mansfield. A good pancake dig, and now free ball to Auburn. There was someone in the net. It was Kentucky, so Auburn will get the point as the net still shakes.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable pancake by Kentucky to even keep that one alive. I thought for sure it was going to be a point for the Tigers. Ends up being a point for the orange and blue anyways.
5-5, Kaylee Edson comes in. It's a front row of Havlicek, Pitts, Markovska, Zimmerman, Dreves, and Edson in the back. Serve up, over, received by Hudson. O'Brien's going to set on the slide to Carr, and a solo block of Liz Markovska, not enough.
Lizzie Carr coming in with 154 kills, the Purdue transfer, averaging 1.9 kills per set. She's already got 2 today, or 3 today, I should say.
Cassie O'Brien will serve, freshman from Katy, Texas. Received by Markovska. Pitts will go to the back row in Zimmerman, and she took off over the line. And so it will be a point for the Wildcats off the error and the violation. It's 7-5.
Yeah, those are the mistakes you want to minimize against a team of this caliber.
O'Brien serves the float, received by Havlicek. Pitts will go to Markovska. Markovska on the right side of the block and terminated.
Markovska so far having the best game of any Auburn Tiger. She's got 6 kills, hitting .286. If she's got the hot hand, the Tigers are going to want to go to her.
Tigers trail 6-7, served by Pitts. O'Brien sets middle to Carr. In system, in tempo, and that's just hard to stop.
That's very hard to stop. There's so much velocity on every single one of these Kentucky hitters' attacks. There's just no chance for the Auburn defense.
Serve over from Hudson. DaCosta receives, forces Pitts back behind the line. Still will go to Zimmerman off a couple hands and up by Tuzzo. Now O'Brien goes middle once more. Sent back this time as Lizzie Carr. Thigpen will get a swing. A dig effort. Can Markovska get over there? She can. It'll be freed over by DaCosta. Tuzzo, good pass to Delay. Delay tips over. Zimmerman is there. Now back row swing for Dreves, up by Hudson. O'Brien, Delay pushed up by DaCosta. Good diving dig. Over on 2 is Pitts. Forces a mad scramble. Delay will get a swing out of it. And now it's free balled over on the dig by DaCosta. O'Brien now to Thigpen on the right side. Thigpen wins the long rally for the Wildcats.
That's the 3rd time so far early in this match that Kentucky has just worn down this Auburn defense. Auburn with a bunch of diving bodies. Alexis DaCosta with a couple great digs. And it just wasn't able to turn into a point for the Tigers.
Serve over, received by Markovska. Pitts tight to the net goes Zimmerman. Zimmerman tips over, diving dig from O'Brien. Now Delay will get another swing. Way long. Did she get a touch? No, she did not. So the Tigers will get the point. She is adamant that she did. Will head coach Craig Skinner pull out the challenge? Looks like he will not as we rotate through. So 9-7 now. Tigers trail. Liz Markovska will serve up and over, received by Delay. O'Brien's pass goes to Thigpen, who tips over, and a free ball dig off to Costa. O'Brien this time goes middle Carr. Good block touch from Auburn to allow him to reset. Swing will go to Dreves, up by Tuzzo. Nice dig. Sent back to the side of Kentucky. O'Brien will now go to Delay. Delay, sharp angle. Gets it cross net.
Whew. That was impressive. Rolling to her left, hitting back to her right. Like you said, a tight angle. And she gets it right in front of Alexis DaCosta. But what I'm more impressed with is the velocity on that one. She just absolutely put her all into that swing and gets a big point for the Kentucky Wildcats. They now lead 10-7.
Serve up and over the top of the tape. An overhand set from DaCosta to Dreves. Dreves sent back. And off the Auburn Tigers now to play. So it'll be a point for Kentucky, 11-7. They now lead.
Yeah, that one was deflected all the way back to Coach Crouch, much to his dismay.
Service will be Tuzzo once more. Long run-up ball in the air and over. DaCosta receives. Good pass to Pitts, who goes in the middle in system to Havlicek. The middle swings, Caleb, we talked about it. They are extremely efficient for the Tigers.
Yeah, both of their middle blockers. Grace Havlicek now with multiple kills, as well as Kate Mansfield. Mansfield hitting .333. Havlicek batting 1,000 right now. So that's something you're going to want to keep an eye on for the orange and blue.
Sydney Honnold will serve. Up by Tuzzo. To force O'Brien to bump set Delay. Off a couple hands and down. The Tigers will get a block out of that. And it's Belle Zimmerman once more.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. Belle Zimmerman barely gets a hand on that one. It lands right on the line in front of the Kentucky hitters.
Tigers still trail by 2. Sydney Honnold to serve again. This one receives an overpass, and the Tigers will get to reset. In-system set goes to Zimmerman. Zimmerman up by O'Brien. And into the scores table. Tigers back within 1.
That's a 3-0 scoring run for the Tigers. They needed it badly. You cannot afford to go down 2-0 against Kentucky. It's going to be tough to get a reverse sweep. They had that magic yesterday, but that's something that's going to be very, very tough to do today.
Sydney Honnold serving down 1 could tie it up. They're on a 3-0 run right now. This one received by O'Brien. It's a better pass. And Auburn will get the point as contact was made by O'Brien across the Auburn net. So we're tied at 11 now in set number 2.
Yeah, this is the best the Tigers have looked all day. Get a little bit lucky of O'Brien being in the net right there, but they'll take points any way they can get them.
Hondel serve up and over this time. The target's delay. It's a better pass. And now the swing will go to Thigpen off of a huge block of Auburn and way out of play. So Asia Thigpen sides out for Kentucky. That was her 3rd kill.
That's now 5 Kentucky Wildcats with at least 3 kills in the early going. They're going to their stars, but they also have so many hitters they can go to just about anybody.
Molly Brezowitz will serve. Up and over for Kentucky, received by Markovska. Pitts will go quick to Dreves. When it's that kind of tempo, the block has no chance of getting there, Caleb.
Yeah, no chance at all. Defense has no chance to get in their rotations. That hit right in the heart of the Wildcat defense. Dreves starting to get going a little bit. That's her 4th kill of the game.
12-12 service is to Zimmerman. We saw her get a clutch ace to end the 4th set yesterday. This one up and over. And it's a long bump set from O'Brien. Overpass, put down by Kate Mansfield, and the Tigers have the lead back in set number 2.
What a run this has been for the Tigers. They really look like that team that reverse swept Oklahoma yesterday. They're starting to get that kind of fire back in them.
So Zimmerman will go again now. Tigers up 13-12. Serve is way out, just got under that one. Had some weird spin like you would see on a rise ball in volleyball. Thing was just taking off. And it's 13-13 off the air. Brooklyn DeLay will serve. She's had a couple long runs at the service line already for Kentucky. Dreves gets the pass. And back row Markovska sent back up by Mansfield. Pitts will go to Dreves this time. Dreves gets the kill. And the Tigers restore their advantage by 1. It's 14-13.
Yeah, Dreves now back in the positive hitting percentage. She's only hitting .053, but with 19 swings, she's going to be someone that the Tigers try to go to early and often.
Serve up and over, received by DeLay. O'Brien goes over to Hudson. Hudson off the top of the block and out of play. So it'll be 14-14, back and forth we go in set number 2.
Eva Hudson is hitting an absolutely absurd .625 for the game so far. Just an unreal number early on.
Just 8 swings, but she's killed 5 of them. As now Sarafa will serve. Serve way long, it's an error. So the Tigers will take that. They're the first to 15 as we hit the media timeout. We'll step aside for a minute on WEGL 91.1 FM.
Went on a couple 3-0 runs, and it's been Liz Markovska and Lauren Dreves getting going, but also minimizing mistakes. Not a lot of errors in this run for the Tigers. Only 1 service error from Belle Zimmerman, but also the Tigers are making the Kentucky Wildcats make mistakes, and when they get punched in the mouth, they punch back. We saw that yesterday. We're seeing that earlier today. Got punched in the mouth on the first set, lost by 10, 25-15, but in this one, they're the first to 15. And, Gehrig, what have you seen as well?
Well, first to 15, Auburn succeeded yesterday when they were first to 15. I believe they were the first to 15 in all 3 sets they won. They were certainly the first to 15 in the last one because you only played at 15. But someone could check my math on that if you're listening at home. But I want to say they were up at the media break in in the third, fourth, and fifth set. So a good omen now for the Tigers as the service will go to Kaylee Edson up by 1. We'll see if the Tigers can stack a couple points and bring the scoring run to 2. Good pass now over to Hudson. Hudson tips up by Zimmerman. Pitts is going to set Markovska. Markovska off the top of the Kentucky block. O'Brien will now go back right to Delay. Delay up by Edson. Can the Tigers get there to save? Yes, they can. Back row swing from Dreves, way long.
Yeah, not a
15,
bad
15.
idea. Not a bad idea from Dreves right there. Trying to go with the top spin, get it on the back line. It was just a couple feet too long. She knew she couldn't get it through that block coming from the back row, but I don't mind the idea.
So now it's Cassie O'Brien to serve for Kentucky. Up and over, received by Dreves. Where will Pitts go with it? It's a middle swing to Havlicek, and it's a diving dig from Tuzzo. Back row delay, and a good dig from Bell Zimmerman. Back over to Kentucky. Tuzzo overhand set, back row delay. Delay off a couple hands, Dreves saves, freed over by Zimmerman. Tuzzo to O'Brien. O'Brien goes to Hudson. Hudson off the top of the block. Can DaCosta get there to make a save? No, she can't. And now Kentucky has the lead.
Once again, Kentucky just wearing down that Auburn defense. They were flying around. Great job getting some free balls over. There were some one-arm deflections, some diving bodies, but the Tigers just weren't able to get the points. Now a 2-0 scoring run for Kentucky.
Over by O'Brien. DaCosta receives. Bump set from Pitts. Markovska will get the swing, and another diving dig from Molly Tuzzo. Now the swing will go to Thigpen. Tigers can't get it over off a couple touches, and now the Wildcats have a 2-point advantage restored.
Yeah, Molly Tuzzo with her 5th dig of the game, and it was a great one because a great swing by Markovska. Nobody there except for Tuzzo. She's able to get it up and get it over for the Wildcats.
Serve for O'Brien in the net. Tigers needed that one, and so it'll be 17-16. Kentucky still with the lead. Number 23, happy birthday, Chanel Pitts. You get a pressure serve. Here we go. 17-16. Short run up. Over received by Tuzzo. It's a good pass to O'Brien. She goes middle to Carr. A good block touch will allow Auburn to get a chance now. Swing will be to Markovska. Markovska offhands it down. We're back all tied, 17-17.
Back and forth we go. This is the kind of game that Coach Crouch wants. You don't want it to, if it's going to be a blowout, it's probably going to be a blowout in between, or from the Kentucky side. If you want these close games and you feel like you're battle tested with the game that you played yesterday and going to 3 straight 5-set games, that you can get a win here, as we're going to possibly have a review here.
Kentucky is challenging a net fault in the middle of the rally, so we'll see how far they go back to this one as we get a look. It looked like it was off the swing of Carr here. Was Auburn in the net as we get a look.
Nothing there.
Oh, the elbow.
Maybe an
the
elbow?
elbow might be in the net. Yeah, the backside of Bell Zimmerman hit the net, so Kentucky will get the point. Tigers thought they had it squared up, and now it'll go back to 18-16. That's brutal for Auburn.
That's a big point.
Liz Markovska having herself a nice little match tonight, though. 7 kills on 19 attempts. She's got 3 digs as well.
Yeah, those 7 kills lead all Tigers. And 19 attempts, that's second on the team as well, behind only Lauren Dreves.
Lauren Drews, 5 kills, 5 errors, though, so she's still hitting 0 off 20 attempts. All right, Tigers faced a lot of adversity yesterday. They thought they had 17-17, a little more now as it's 18-16. Kentucky leads with Eva Hudson at the service line. Received by Markovska. Pitts will go in system to Bell Zimmerman, who's sent back to Pitts. Bump set Markovska. Bell Zimmerman swings again. This time block is there, and a good one-handed shot to find the back left corner from Brooklyn Delay. And they now lead by 3, and Coach Crouch calls timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. What can the Tigers muster on the other end of this break? Find out. You're listening to WEGL 91.1.
You are off.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. I help people solve
stretch of events for the Tigers towards the end of set number 2. They thought they had it 17-17. Kentucky head coach Craig Skinner challenged the net touch in the middle of the rally where the Tigers ended up getting the point. And sure enough, Belle Zimmerman on the way down was in the net. So Kentucky went up 16-18 and then off a kill and are now up 19-16. So Tigers down 3 and Kentucky within 6 of closing out set number 2. Where do the Tigers go? It'll be Eva Hudson to serve first. It's up and over. It's a float received by DaCosta. Good pass to Pitts. Goes right side to Markovska, who swings out. Markovska wants it in. Looked out from here, and there will be no challenge.
Yeah, no challenge there. The Kentucky Wildcats have gone to this little float serve a lot. They're trusting their serve, or they're trusting their receive.
This one more of a line drive. DaCosta receives. Pitts bumps. Zimmerman swings in. Down the line goes Belle Zimmerman.
Belle Zimmerman making up for her net violation earlier. She gets a big kill right there to stop the bleeding. It's going to be key for the Tigers down the stretch.
2017, can Liz Markovska get them going here? Serve received by Hudson. The set's going to go to delay. It's a roll shot over. DaCosta is there. Pitts will set up Zimmerman. Zimmerman down the line, and it's a point for Kentucky. Tried to hit it across net and just off the top and down on the Auburn side.
Yeah, that was a tight angle. She didn't want to go towards the pin. She wanted to go cross court and just hit it on her side of the net. Tough break.
21-17 now as Kentucky will serve with Molly Tuzzo. Off the top of the tape, received by Dreves. The swing will go to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman gets a kill. Thunderous swing off the hands of O'Brien.
Yeah, O'Brien got her hands to it to dig it out, but it went all the way back to the Auburn bench. So a good point for the Tigers. Belle Zimmerman starting to get going here.
21-18, Kentucky leads. Tigers will have to stack a couple off the service to Sydney Hondel. Up and over, received by DeLay. It's a good pass. Now DeLay will get the swing and off the block and way out. So 22-18, Kentucky inches ever closer to going up 2-0. It's 22-18.
It'll be Brezowitz again at the service line. She's been pretty good from there in these first 2 sets.
Brezowitz, short run up and short serve received by Markovska. Pitts will go over to Dreves. Dreves has to tip over, and it's a good diving effort to keep it alive. Now back row swing. Eva Hudson terminates, and Kentucky is 2 points away.
Yeah, Eva Hudson has been crazy efficient today. Now 7 for 11 on attacks. She's second on the team in kills as well.
Over by Brezowitz. No one receives. It's a miscommunication between Markovska and Dreves, and that's another ace, and it'll be set point. We'll step aside for a minute as Coach Crouch calls timeout.
See that cute little dog at that store.
Point in set number 2. Tigers were right in it until Craig Skinner won a challenge, and since then it has been a 3-0 scoring run, among other runs in this set, for Kentucky to have a 24-18 lead.
Yeah, Kentucky hitting 329 as a team. Brooklyn DeLay, Eva Hudson leading the charge there. Lizzie Carr as well with 5 kills. Asia Thigpen as well hitting over 300. As opposed for the Tigers, they're hitting 162 as a team, with Liz Markovska hitting only 100. Lauren Dreves, their star outside hitter, first team All-SEC, hitting 0.
Brezowitz serves, Mansfield receives. Pitts goes right side to Zimmerman, who gets it off the arms of Washington on the way down. So the Tigers will stay alive a little bit longer. It's now 24-19. And if you're Auburn here, you don't really necessarily think you can come back with 6 straight or 7 straight points, but you want to take a little momentum going into that next set.
Absolutely. You want to get as much momentum as you can.
So Zimmerman will serve. It's in. It's a good one. And Delay has to free over. Where does Pitts go with it? Back row. Markovska floats. A pancake effort from Brezowitz, but it's ruled down by our line judge. 24-20 now, point Tigers.
Yeah, don't look now, but Tigers trying to make a little something happen.
As a rules analyst that was 2 for 2 yesterday, guys, I'm not so sure about that one. I thought her hand was under there.
No challenge from head coach Craig Skinner, and so we'll play on. Belle Zimmerman now has to stack way more for the Tigers. This one's a good serve, better pass received by Tuzzo. Now the swing is Hudson, and Hudson closes out set number 2 from the back row.
She's been unbelievable today, Gehrig, and that's who you got to go to. When you start to lose momentum, if you're Kentucky, you go to your stars. Like we said, SEC Player of the Year, and she is hitting .667 on the day, 8 kills, no errors on 12 attempts. Just an unbelievable showing from number 7 in white.
All right, set 3. When we return, we'll step aside for 2.5 minutes on the Auburn Sports Network.
And you are on.
Two sets to nothing. The score in this one, Kentucky leads. The 1 seed has looked every bit of it. They're now hitting .333. Brooklyn Delay with 11 kills on 31 swings. And Eva Hudson, they haven't gone to her much, only 12 swings, but has killed 8 of them.
She's looked unbelievable. She is not leading the team in kills, like you said, but she's leading the team. She is unbelievable in her efficiency, and also no errors is a main thing for her as well. Tigers hitting only $186 as opposed to Kentucky's .333. That is an absurd number for Kentucky. Their attack has really been able to do whatever they want with this Auburn middle block. The read blocking scheme has not really worked today for the Tigers. They only have a 51% side out percentage as well. So when Kentucky is getting those serves, they're going on runs. But when Auburn gets a serve, Kentucky has a 72% side out percentage. That's great for Kentucky, and it spells disaster for the Tigers.
All right, just about set to get going in set number 3. We saw in the Tiger huddle Sydney Hondel giving a fiery speech to her teammates, trying to pump them up. As I take the job of Carson Meier, our sideline reporter, I'm doing a bit of analysis myself, Caleb.
Hey, it's a 3-man crew, and we work off each other, you know what I'm saying? But she did that yesterday, Hondel did. She gave a fiery speech yesterday, and we're here today, you know? I mean, without that speech, who knows? We may not be here today. But this is familiar territory. Tigers were in this exact same boat yesterday, and they didn't have Lauren Drees. Now you've got your best hitter. It's somebody you can lean on today. She hasn't had a great game, but maybe she can get going.
All right, here's where the Tigers were yesterday, down 2-0. This time they have Lauren Drees in the 6-2, but the other side is a giant in number 1 Kentucky. Equally adverse situation here for the Auburn Tigers as they try and reverse sweep Kentucky. They did it last time, and they faced each other in Neville Arena. This is a little bit different down in Savanah, Georgia. As we look to get going, it's Molly Tuzzo to serve, up by Markovska. Swing is going to go to Lauren Drees, back on the block touch to Auburn. Now Zimmerman will get a swing off the hands of Kentucky once more. A good reset. Tuzzo will set Thigpen, up by Zimmerman. Pitts, back row Markovska. Good diving dig effort from Tuzzo. Delay gets it, and Tuzzo will free over. Zimmerman, where does Pitts go? This time it's Havlicek in the middle, and she puts it away. Tigers finally win a long rally.
First long rally that the Tigers have gotten. It's a good start to set number 3. They go in the middle. It's been efficient. It's been their best percentage play. Havlicek now with 4 kills on 5 attempts, hitting 800 no errors. Mansfield as well with 3 kills.
Sydney Hondel serves up by Hudson. It's a good pass to O'Brien, who goes middle swing, sent back by Mansfield, and in! It's a block, Kate Mansfield.
Just talked about her offensive prowess, but there she shows why she was leading the top 5 in the SEC in blocks per set for most of the year. Gets her second one of the game there.
Sydney Hondel serves again up by Hudson once more. O'Brien goes backside to Thigpen. Good block touch from Auburn, allowing a reset. Here comes Zimmerman from the right pin. A good dig from Kentucky to keep it alive. Hudson from the back row. Just out of the outstretched arms of Sydney Hondel, and Kentucky opens their account in set number 3.
Yeah, guess who? Eva Hudson, Kentucky's best player by far, and she kind of goes unmarked there, right in the middle. Auburn middle block, a little bit late on the rotation, and an easy kill for number 7.
Brezowitz will serve for Kentucky now. The Wildcats trail 2-1 to the Tigers in set number 4. Received by Lauren Drees. It's a good pass to Pitts, who goes middle to Kate Mansfield. And the middle swings are active in set number 3.
We said that was going to be something they might go to. They're starting too early on. Here, backs against the wall, down 2-0. You got to try everything.
Now service will be to Belle Zimmerman. Senior from Liberty, Missouri. Up and over, received by Hudson. Forces O'Brien to run. It'll be a tough swing for Delay. And she swings out. No touch. Auburn goes up 4-1. The biggest lead Auburn has had in this contest so far.
Make it a challenge here. Craig Skinner talking to the down ref. We are going to get a challenge.
Challenging a touch. So not whether it was in or out, we'll be challenging a touch. Take a look at the Tigers, see if they might have touched it.
Ooh, yeah. Looks like it.
I don't know. That's really close. Maybe got the pinky. Yeah, it looks like got the pinky of Pitts.
We'll go to our rules analyst, Carson Meier. Carson, what are you thinking?
Boy, that is about as close as it gets. It just barely nicks the pinky of Chanel Pitts. That's going to go out on Auburn. It's going to be a Kentucky point, unfortunately. But on the brighter side of things, I'm 3 for 3 now.
That is true.
Carson, we might have given you a softball there as the entire arena can see Chanel Pitts' pinky move back. But that's okay, 3 for 3 nonetheless. Tigers now only up by 1. They thought they had a 3-point advantage, so a couple brutal swings off challenges for Auburn so far as Brooklyn DeLay steps to the line and serves. Up by Markovska. It'll be a bump set from Dreves. Zimmerman will swing off the back line, up by DeLay. O'Brien goes to Washington on the slide. Auburn recovers. Swing is to Dreves. Dreves gets it down.
When Dreves has been able to get her swing through the block of Kentucky, they have had no answer for her on the back line. Very, very few times have they been able to dig it out. A great job by the Vancouver, Washington native.
Lauren Dreves will serve up 4-2 for the Tigers. Received by DeLay. Swing will go to Hudson. Hudson up by Zimmerman. A good dig from the senior. Zimmerman will get the swing back out of back right and hit.
That one gets the Auburn bench fired up. A thunderous swing by Belle Zimmerman. We talked about how great she was yesterday. She's been pretty good today, too.
Dreves will serve again. This time the target's DeLay. O'Brien's going to go over to Hudson. Hudson swings in, and that is just efficient volleyball now. 10 of 15 from Eva Hudson, the Purdue transfer, the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, that one was coming in hot and a bit of not knowing exactly where you are on the floor. Lauren Dreves lets it go, and it hits right on the line. Good call by the line judge here in front of us.
5-3, Ava Sarafa will serve for the Wildcats. Up over, received by Dreves. Pitts will go to Markovska, who mistimed her jump, and it'll be a point for the Wildcats.
Yeah, she tried to go soft there, just went a little too soft. Going for the little dink over the block of the Kentucky Wildcats, just couldn't do it.
So Sarafa will serve again in an attempt to tie the match here. Dreves receives. Now the swing is going to go to Zimmerman, who tips over. DeLay is there. Hudson will get the swing off a block touch from Auburn and up by DaCosta. Pitts goes over to Markovska off the block once more. Bump set from DaCosta. Swing will be Markovska. Off hands and down. Liz Markovska gets a kill.
Markovska starting to come back alive. Her 24th attempt, her 8th kill to go along with 5 airs. She's back in the positive hitting percentage. She's going to be a catalyst going forward. It'll be Edson at the line. She was big for the Tigers from the service line yesterday.
Edson up, over, received by DeLay. O'Brien over on 2. Tigers are there. They'll have to free over, though, with Liz Markovska. Who does O'Brien set this time? It's Carr on the slide. Ball rolls around the net and falls. Grace Havlicek wasn't aware of where it was.
Yeah, Havlicek knew she got a hand on it, didn't really know where it went, turned around, looked behind her, but the ball was still rolling on the tape, and it falls right in front of her at her feet. 6-5, Auburn still leads.
And now we see an adjustment from the Tigers here. They're back in the 5-1. As Edson comes out to serve only and rotates back out, it'll be Chanel Pitts the rest of the way, you'd assume, as O'Brien serves up by Dreves. Overhand set from DaCosta. Markovska will get the swing, and it's a nice angle cross net, and it's a kill for Liz Markovska.
Yeah, a couple times we've seen Markovska be mistiming her jump. That time it was perfectly timed, perfectly in rhythm, perfectly in system. Great point for the Tigers.
Up 7-5, Chanel Pitts will serve for the Tigers. Over, it's a good pass to O'Brien. Has options, it'll be Hudson. And a good dig from Lauren Dreves. A joust at the net. The Tigers will get a swing out of it. It will be Liz Markovska, and it's a good dig from Tuzzo. Now middle swing to Lizzie Carr, put down with authority.
Yeah, great dig right there, because Markovska got a free swing at it, almost no block attempt from the Kentucky Wildcats. And then Molly Tuzzo diving in front of her to get that dig up, and a big swing right there from Carr.
Serve over, received by DaCosta. Pitts will go middle, Havlicek tools it off the block.
Anything you can do, we can do better, says the Auburn Tigers. They go back to the middle. It's been their most efficient play, and Havlicek gets another kill.
8-6, Auburn leads. We've kind of gone back and forth with Auburn leading by 2, leading by 1, leading by 2, leading by 1. See if they can stack a couple here. As Liz Markovska is 1 kill away now from double figures. She'll step back to serve as we mop up a spill courtside. Markovska up over, received by DeLay. And a smart shot from Brooklyn DeLay. What looked to be an overpass. Havlicek got a hand to it, but DeLay sent it right back.
Yeah, tough break for the Tigers there. Like you said, we're going back and forth. No team able to really break away.
Both teams siding out at an incredibly high percent in this third set. As now Tuzzo will serve for Kentucky, received by Markovska. It's going to force a tough set to Zimmerman, who swings well out of play. Did she get a touch? Yes, she did. An out-of-system, almost broken play, but Bill Zimmerman makes it work.
Zimmerman almost from behind the pin there. Hit it way out, no chance it was going to stay in, but she immediately calling for the tip, and she's awarded for it.
Sydney Hunnell's been a good server for Auburn. This time it gets to Hudson. O'Brien will set backside by Thigpen, and Thigpen powers it through the block of Kate Mansfield to get the kill.
Each team trading points here in the early go, and Auburn making a bunch of substitutions, going with the 5-1 still.
9-8, Tigers still lead. Molly Brezowitz steps up for UK. Short run up, serve into the net. So another side out.
Unbelievable. Back and forth we go. Neither team is able to get any type of breathing room. That's the 5th service there for the Wildcats. It'll be Zimmerman at the line.
Belle Zimmerman, the hero in set 4 yesterday, serves, received by Hudson. It's a good pass. O'Brien goes on the slide to Washington, who hits it off the net in the arms of Lauren Dreves and out of play. So 10-9, another side out.
Yeah, Dreves a bit frustrated with herself there. Got a good block, just wasn't able to keep it up and keep it alive for the Tigers.
Brooklyn DeLay will be the server for the Wildcats. And that is a pretty poor miss there. Looked like it was kind of just shanked off the start. Hits the pin, the net, doesn't even go over. But Auburn will take it.
She's been going to that kind of float serve, and it's been effective, but that time just not good enough.
Dreves serves, DeLay receives. O'Brien over to Hudson. Hudson in tempo. And in the net was Chanel Pitts. So point Wildcats, the side outs continue.
Can any team string anything together? You feel like in this set, the person or the team that gets 2 consecutive points might win this one.
There's a sub for Kentucky. Trinity Ward, the freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, now steps in to serve for the first time in this match. It's up and over, received by DaCosta, who gets it to Pitts. Back right, Zimmerman, and it's a good dig effort. Markovska, can she terminate? No, she can't. It's a solo stuff, Cassie O'Brien.
O'Brien, not known for her blocking ability, known as the main setter for this Kentucky team, but she is an all SEC all-freshman, played in every single set as a freshman. An impressive solo block right there for number 6.
Got 69 blocks on the season now, as Ward will step back to serve again. It's a bullet right to DaCosta. Pitts goes to Mansfield in the middle, who's sent back. Tigers will reset. This time, Swin will go to Markovska off the top of the block into the Tigers once more. Where do they go this time? It's back row Zimmerman, who floats over, and it's a free ball to the Tigers. Pitts, can DaCosta get it over the net? No, she will not be able to. And Kentucky will take their first lead of the set. They are now on a 3-0 run after neither team could break the side-out streak. Kentucky now with 3 of their own.
Yeah, this is what Kentucky does to you. They just wear you down and stay in it, weather the storm. That's what they're doing right now. Some great digs, keeping Auburn in a scramble drill.
So the service of Ward has proved to be a good sub for Skinner, as now Markovska will get a swing. Sent back. Cassie O'Brien does it again, and the Tigers are now down by 2, 13-11. Kentucky has come alive now with 4 blocks to match the Tigers for. 2 in this set, 2 in the last 3 points. Tigers had been siding out so well, they need one now with Ward at the line. Received by Dreves. Pitts will go over to Markovska. Markovska blocked again, Cassie O'Brien. No one there to cover her, and we have reached a timeout. Coach Crouch has seen enough. We will depart as well. Be back in 1 minute on WEGL 91.1. take this time to give a special shout out to our guy back in the studio, Mr. Aaron Simons. Has been with us all week. He's been keeping us on the air. So a big thank you to Mr. Simons. Caleb, now a big run from Kentucky and Auburn. Their backs against the wall once again. They have to have this set probably to make the NCAA tournament, let alone continue their season and win this set in this one.
Yeah, and like I said, it seemed like it was going to be the team who could string together 2 points. Well, Kentucky has strung together 5. And if you're the Auburn Tigers, you have to get a side out here. You were doing it so well in the early going of this set. You have to get one here. And if you're Liz Markovsky, you can't get discouraged. You've had 3 straight blocked by Cassie O'Brien. So what? You have to flush it. The Tigers need it right now. They need a big point. They need a scoring run of their own.
Trinity Ward still serving. She's served for 4 consecutive points. Gone with a mix of a float and a driven serve. We'll see what she dials up here. It's more of the float this time. Reception by Dreves. That'll be Zimmerman in the back middle. And Kentucky's able to keep it alive. Freed over to Auburn. Pitts. DaCosta bump set to Markovska. Markovska offhands, no block this time. She's fired up with that one. It's 14-12.
Yeah, she has some words for the Kentucky block right there. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Like I said, don't get discouraged. And number 25 in orange and blue does not, and she keeps swinging. Gets her 10th kill of the game.
So now Kaylee Edson will come in to serve. Up by DeLay. O'Brien will go to Hudson. Hudson off a couple hands, off the arms of Zimmerman and to the floor. So Kentucky back up 3.
Yeah, Kentucky, the first of 15 here in the third set. Only a 3-point deficit, though. The Tigers have been here before.
Service goes to Cassie O'Brien, who has put the team on her back in this third set. Pitts goes over on 2. Diving effort by O'Brien. Thigpen will get a swing out of it, but she swings way long. No touch. Tiger point. How about that dig from O'Brien, though?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Superman dig. Getting right under the ball. Textbook. Showing why she's an SEC All-Freshman Team recipient.
Tigers would love to stack one here with Pitts at the line. Reception's not the greatest. It's a bump set from Thigpen. It'll be freed over by Carr. A good opportunity for the Tigers. DaCosta gets it to Pitts, who's going to go right side. Zimmerman, no block to be found. Shanked off the arms of Molly Tuzzo, and it's 15-14. Tigers down by 1.
Belle Zimmerman coming alive here in the postseason. That's her 8th kill on 23 attempts, hitting .304. One of only 3 Tigers to hit over the 300 mark.
Served by Pitts. This reception is better. It gets to O'Brien. Back to Hudson. A float received by Dreves. Overhand set now goes to Zimmerman off a couple hands and recycled by Kentucky. Set from Tuzzo. Back row delay up by DaCosta. Where does Pitts go with it? This time it's back row Dreves. And Dreves ties this thing up. 15-15.
How about that? They come out of the timeout, the Auburn Tigers do, and go on a 5-1 scoring run, including a 3-0 scoring run actively. As there's a timeout on the floor, we will take one with it. You're listening to Auburn Volleyball on Weagle 91.1 FM.
Fantastic environment so far today. Big Blue Nation is out here in full force. I mean, it is a great crowd, just as it was yesterday. The wave was fantastic, and the energy on the court is just as good. Coach Crouch got hyped headed into that timeout. uncharacteristic of him to kind of get those emotions into the game, but he does there, and Lauren Dreves, the engine of this Auburn team, and her reactions on the court as well have been fantastic.
So Chanel Pitts will serve for the Tigers. Over received by Hudson, gets to O'Brien. Now another swing and down on the dump is, that was Eva Hudson. And who else would it be, Caleb?
Exactly, who else? She continues her high percentage play, and she now is tied for the lead in kills for Kentucky.
Hudson serves. Service out barely. Barely out as Markovska watches it go over her right shoulder. And it is 16 all with Liz Markovska serving. Serve is over, the target's Tuzzo. It's a good pass to O'Brien, who goes in the middle of the car, and Pitts and DaCosta can't keep it alive. So 17-16 Wildcats in set 3.
Yeah, that's 2 times in a row on Auburn's base defense that they've kind of left a hole there in the middle and kind of got a little bit of a cement feet.
Service is Tuzzo. Over received by Markovska. Sets it to go to Havlicek, who puts it away. Grace Havlicek ties this thing at 17. No challenge this time. This is where the Tigers thought they had 17 all in set 2. And went back 18-16 after a Kentucky challenge. This time it is 17-17.
17-17, and they go right back to the middle. Grace Havlicek having one of her more efficient games as an Auburn Tiger. She's 6 for 7 on the night.
Hundle serves off the top of the tape up by Tuzzo. O'Brien goes far side to delay. Delay off a couple hands. Mansfield can't find it, and it goes down to the floor. 18-17 Wildcats.
That's the second time this set that the Tigers have blocked one at the net and not knowing where it went after that. And it's kind of rolled off the tape and fallen in front of them. Not out of it by any means, though. Only a 1-point game.
Molly Brezowitz will serve for Kentucky. Over received by Markovska. Pitts will go right side to Zimmerman. Zimmerman is blocked. And Kentucky back up by 2.
Yeah, that was Carr. Lizzie Carr came into this one with 102 blocks on the season, averaging 1.2 blocks per set. And she gets her second one of the game right there.
Brezowitz will go again. This time received by Markovska. Pitts will go to Dreves. Dreves quickly down in system.
Absolutely massive point right there. You could not afford to go down 3 this late in this set, especially with your backs against the wall. Lauren Dreves, she's hurting, but she is giving her all right now.
Bale Zimmerman will serve. Short run up, and into the net. It's a service error, untimely for the senior from Liberty, Missouri. Tigers trail 2018. Kentucky first to the red zone. They're 5 points away from advancing to the semifinals, where they will take on the winner of Florida and Tennessee. Brooklyn DeLay will serve into the net, so the Tigers benefit from a service error. And it's 2019 as we reach crunch time. It's going down to the wire. And the first all-SEC selection this century for the Auburn Tigers, Lauren Dreves, is back to serve. Let's see what she can do. It's up and over, received. It's a good pass to O'Brien. O'Brien will go to Hudson. Dreves with a dig. Pitts will set up Markovska, will have to swing. It's an awkward angle, and it's in the net. So 21-19. Now Wildcats lead by 2, and they're 4 points away.
4 points away. There's a timeout on the floor. Tigers trail by 2. We will have the conclusion of set number 3 when we come back here on Weagle 91.1 FM.
matches all the way back in the non-conference, and she talked about the hybrid serve and working with a few players on it. Lauren Dreves included there. We just saw it on her last serve. It was a good one. One of the better servers on this team. Keep an eye out for that hybrid serve. The topspin on that one can be lethal.
All right. Kentucky will have service here after the attack error by Liz Markowska. And it'll be Trinity Ward, it appears, to serve. Trinity Ward was the one who gave the Wildcats a big 5-0 run in this set. That's the reason they have the lead right now. Tigers down 2, season on the line. Ward steps up, serves, and out. A big moment for a service error, and the Tigers are at 20. They've scored 15 in the first, 20 in the second, have matched that total with 20 in the third. We'll see how many more they can tack on as Kaylee Edson comes in to serve. Edson this season with 19 aces, 40 errors. Serves a float, received by Carr. O'Brien's going to go to Hudson. Hudson tips over, Markowska is there. Pitts sets back row Zimmerman, and she misses, hits it in the net. 22-20 rather. Auburn had a chance to side out and tie it.
Yeah, just unlucky there and untimely from Belle Zimmerman. She was so clutch yesterday. A couple mistakes here down the stretch, but the Tigers are looking to pick her up.
Now serving is Cassie O'Brien. She's got a bullet of a serve for Kentucky. As goes with the float, it's received by Dreves. Pitts will go long to Markowska. Markowska gets it through the block of Thigpen and Carr. And it's a kill, 22-21. Tigers still trail by 1.
Her 11th of the game, and not a better time for it.
Service Chanel Pitts on her birthday, gets it up, over received by Hudson. Set will go back row delay, up by Edson. Now Markowska gets the swing, pulled off the block. It was up by Pitts. And Markowska got the swing and put it away and tied this thing up at 22.
Familiar territory. The Tigers were down in set 3 yesterday, down in set 4 as well, and set 5. They won all of them. Backs against the wall. The Tigers do not wilt.
Can Chanel Pitts keep it going for the Tigers? Serve is up and over, received by delay. O'Brien's going to set Hudson. Hudson up by DaCosta. What does Pitts have to offer? It'll be back row. Dreves forced to tip over. There's O'Brien to keep it alive. Tuzzo's going to set Hudson. Hudson tips over. Dreves there to keep it up. Edson now goes right side to Zimmerman. Zimmerman swings out, no touch. Point Wildcats 23-22. Tigers had a good chance to take the lead there, and now they'll have to side out.
Everybody check your blood pressure. This is as intense as it gets.
And we will get a challenge from head coach Brent Crouch on the touch.
Might as well, right? Backs against the wall.
Absolutely, you might as well. I think they have one timeout left as well. So they're going to review it here. They're actually reviewing if the ball was in, but it was out by quite a margin.
Good call by the line judge. He's in the perfect position. Now they may be looking for a touch as well.
Definitely no touch here, it appears. Yeah.
Yeah, no touch.
Ball close to landing in, but it will be out. Eva Hudson looking at it like, why'd you review that? Got the hand to her brow. She'll be the one to serve. We'll see if that's a bit of gamesmanship there, if she can back it up. Back row for Auburn is Pitts, Markowska, DaCosta, and Dreves. Serve is up and over, received by DaCosta. Pitts has options, so go to Havlicek, and it's up by Eva Hudson. Now the swing will go over to Delay. Delay off some hands, and Dreves keeps it up. Swing now to Zimmerman. Zimmerman off the hands of Kentucky, but up by Tuzzo. Quick swing from Carr, up by Pitts. DaCosta sets Zimmerman. Zimmerman swings out, no touch, and Kentucky will have match point. Tigers season down to the line here, 24-22. Kentucky leads. Eva Hudson to serve. Received by Markowska. Pitts goes over to Zimmerman, who has to tap over. It's dumped, and it's down. Kentucky will win as play continues here. It looked like 4 touches on Auburn. Delay swings now in, and that will do it. The Wildcats beat Auburn 25-22 in set 3, and that's going to do it for Auburn's SEC tournament run. It was a valiant effort here in set 3, but Kentucky proves too much for this team.
Yeah, they're too much for Auburn. They're undefeated in conference play for a reason. They were the #1 seed for a reason, and the #2 ranked team in the country for a reason, and they showed it today. The Tigers got better in each set, only scoring 15, then 20, and then 22 in the last one, but just, like you said, just too much Wildcats for them today.
So that's going to do it. 25-22 is your final in set number 3. It was 25-20 in set 2, 25-15 in set 1. Tigers really grew into the match. They went to the 5-1 system in set 3, and it proved to work as they closed the gap, but it was Eva Hudson, 13 kills on 25 swings. Ended up hitting 520, and that's what kind of put the nail in the coffin for the Tigers, Caleb.
Yeah, and also Lizzie Carr kind of goes unsung as well, but she hit 400 on 15 swings, 8 kills for her. And Brooklyn DeLay, all 3 of those show them why they're the stars of this Kentucky Wildcats team. Brooklyn with 15 kills, Eva Hudson with 13, Carr with 8. And like we said, just too much. It seemed like they kind of wore the Tigers down, and the Tigers didn't wilt. You got to give them that. They fought to the very end. But it was a valiant effort, but just came up a little bit short.
Carson, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, just an unfortunate way to go there, and now it's going to be up to the committee whether or not Auburn makes it. They've certainly put together a good resume this season, but you know it's not easy with all the automatic qualifiers to sneak in there as an at-large bid. On the other hand, though, we talked to Sports Information Director Thomas Hoffman. He brought up a great point. It's hard to imagine the SEC only getting 5 bids. Such a deep conference, a lot of good teams in this conference that probably deserve a shot and could probably make a lot of noise in December, but we'll see. It's up to the committee now.
Yeah, the question is, will Auburn jump Missouri in the RPI, that all-important metric? Missouri right now would be the 5th team in for the SEC. Florida, Tennessee, or the 6th team rather, Florida, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Kentucky. They all seem to be locks at this point, so Mizzou would be the 6th. Can the Tigers jump them with their performance against Kentucky today? We'll see what the committee thinks about it. But, man, a heartbroken way to go. Final stats for Auburn: Liz Markovska had 12, Dreves had 8, and Zimmerman had 8. But it's the Auburn seniors that continue to get it done. Markovska and Zimmerman, solid showings from them.
Yeah, solid showings. Not great hit percentage, but when you're going up against a team like Kentucky, you know that's going to kind of be the theme of the game. But, yeah, just unfortunate for the Tigers. It's a tough way to go out, but you just kind of put it in the hands of the committee and hope that you can continue playing your season here, and hopefully you get a chance in the NCAA tournament.
That's going to do it for us from Savannah, Georgia. The final score in this one is Auburn 0, Kentucky 3. It was sets 25-15, 25-20, and 25-22. Our next broadcast will be in the spring as Auburn softball returns to the Plains for the Malvos' 2nd season. Stay tuned for the schedule release there. And the general manager of the Auburn Sports Network is Ben Harling. Executive producer has been Brad Law, and studio host and engineer this week has been Aaron Simons. Auburn Volleyball is a production of the Auburn Sports Network with rights granted by Auburn University. Thank you for joining us in Savannah this weekend. It was a great time at the SEC Volleyball Tournament, and we hope to be back next year. The final score, 3-0 Kentucky. For my partners, Caleb Robertson, Carson Meier, Aaron Simons in the studio, I'm Gehrig Gesch. Thank you for listening. Have a great afternoon, and War Eagle from Enmarket Arena.